The next login reward after Scion, legendary champion. Let's talk about it. What up team, it's your boy MurderInc here, back again with another Shadow Legends video. We are talking about what is next after Scion. So, we have this epic here. People aren't a fan, they don't like him, they don't like his kit, they don't like anything about him, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Okay, we want to know what's next. To know what's next, we have to think it to ourselves, what do we need? What do we really need? I kind of sat down and said, okay, Scion's here. They already said they're going to do legendary, epic, legendary, and then epic after. Hopefully that one's better than Scion. Pray. So what's the next legendary going to be? What do you as the player need? I thought about it. I said, what don't we have? What hasn't been accessible to champions? Or I'm calling you guys champions now. What hasn't been accessible to the players, you guys and myself, through fusions, through free login rewards, through the I did have to consider, I didn't want to because it's not really accessible to everybody, but I can find it. This shop right here, I was going to say Sir Nicholas. It would be nice to have some type of AoE damage scaling shield champion. Yes, you can get miscreated monster. It's an epic champion, but you have to pull him. Sir Nicholas, I mean, he costs 4,000 life tokens. Do I think the average player has access to that? No. Lydia does exist. She's a bit endgame. We have an AoE CC here. We have Foley, of course. Molly Tankard, Tomb Lord, great champion. I don't even remember purchasing him, but apparently I did. And then me, Manaya. So that is that. What I came up with was a bit interesting. Give me your thoughts, give me your feedback on this, because I'm curious what you think. I want a legendary version of Royal Guard. Enemy max health champion on an AoE, but instead of coding it, now this is going to sound a bit broken. Hey, listen. Chill. I don't want it to count as an AoE. If you saw my Hydra videos, you saw that Mashald is the best Hydra champion for A1 damage in the game. Why is that? Because while he is AoEing on his A1, it's counting as a single target hit on every single enemy. I want that, but from an enemy max health champion. Why does that matter? Literally only Hydra. I mean, maybe in some other places that I'm not thinking about. No, probably just Hydra. I mean, I could be wrong. It would maybe one of my clanmates can roast me saying, oh, Murder, you forgot this part of the game. Oh, you're dumb. Sure. Okay, whatever. But I want an AoE max champion, kind of like Calvalix, but I don't want any strings attached. Kind of like Seer, but no strings attached. I want them to deal pure damage, just like Royal Guard, just like Husk. I don't even care what their A1, A2, Aura, passive, any of that. I just want this. Damage increases according to enemy max HP, period. I think this would be great. I think a lot of players don't have access to someone like this. Actually, there is a difference because Septimus and Coldheart hit things like the Spider much harder than Royal Guard. Yeah, so I do want an OP legendary champion as a login reward. Is it too much? I don't think so. They can just make the A1 underwhelming and the A3 underwhelming, and it's copium, I know, but I think it's going to be worthwhile. But this is what I want out of a champion personally as my first choice. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree? This would be great. He would be the meta for Hydra and everyone would get him, assuming you're this far into the game, and that's what we should want. If you're, what is it? I don't even know where we're at. 271 plus Cleopteryx plus wherever I'm at now. If you're this far into the game, we should be getting a legendary champion that we say wow to. Not like, okay, Cleopteryx can be used here, but probably in the vault. Yes, it is a free champion, but if everyone has it, it's going to push everyone as a whole community forward further into the game and giving people an incentive to reach the end game and not just quit, right? That's what we want, retention. So with that being said, that's what I want. The other thing, hear me out, touchy subject, Hex. I want an AoE Hex champion that's also a bomber that does not scale off of attack, because I think attack's a waste of time and terrible, because then you can build no survivability. Then you need attack, HP, defense, speed, accuracy. What? Why? For what reason? Get rid of attack. I mean, you can still keep accuracy, but the fact that you can just stack something like, imagine a defense-based bomber, right? That applies Hex. So now you're building accuracy not just for the bomb debuff, but you're also applying hex to the champions. Double benefit there. Bombers right now, I can't think of anyone who applies a meaningful buff. Or what about a defense down? Well, you don't need defense down if you... Okay, they just changed it so weaken affects bombs. So forget hex. I mean, you know what? No, we want it to be really good. So it applies hex, AoE, and weaken AoE, and applies an AoE bomb on the targets. We'll say one bomb. You don't want to be crazy and have it 2 per target. One bomb, but it scales off of defense. Now we're getting survivability. Now we're getting the ability to not worry about attack that has 1 goal, do damage, doesn't prevent damage, or it can be something like, what's his name? Barbarian Elder Scarg. I think it is here. Inflicts damage equal to this champion's attack when attacked by legendary champions. They can take this idea, since they do already have it in the game here, but make it so this champion reduces damage equal to the amount of champion's attack. That would be brilliant. They wouldn't have to do much, and that would be so brilliant. Or they can make it like Brogni, although that's still risky. It's like, okay, I'm going to do more damage when you hit me, but I'm still going to die in 1 shot. So I like my first suggestion better. Make it reduce damage based on the champion's attack. That would be... receives 15% less damage from... receives 15% less damage equal to this champion's attack based on whatever metric they want, capping out at, let's say, 35%. 35% reduced damage. Yeah, I'm okay with that. You guys should be okay with that. Plarium should be okay with that. Why should we suffer for building a champion they clearly want us to use? Bombs. They've been trying so hard and for so long to get us to use bomb champions. They made content based on it. They said Bommel was ideal for bombs. They said the Hydra. We can't build the champions. Plarium, please, if you're watching this, understand your requirements for bomb champions are too high. Look at games like Summoner's War. Bombs are OP in that game. Make them OP in this game. They don't have to be crazy. Just make them viable. You're wondering why no one's using them. I can tell you for a fact right now it's because they're too hard to build. Whether you're early game, mid game, late game, end game, it doesn't matter. Anything that's that flawed across the board needs to be seriously reworked. So that's my first idea. Hex, weaken, bomb. The next thing would be a champion that offers a new debuff. So this is where it gets kind of interesting. And I'm actually going to show you the notepad that I have on this. I want something called Mark of Death. Now, this is something from a game of World of Warcraft that I played. I don't know if other games have this, but you're going to mark a target, and then everyone's going to do damage to the target, right? And it's going to create a shield icon on the target you mark. Cannot be removed, this Mark of Death, whatever it is. And it explodes after, let's say, 1 or 2 turns and deals damage based on the amount of damage you dealt to that marked target, but in AoE format. I think this would be so cool. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe it sounds really lame and boring. You guys can be the judges of that and let me know in the comments, but I really like Mark of Death as a concept, as an idea. It can be really interesting for the arena. It can be really interesting for the Hydra, for the spider. Imagine Mark of Deathing the spider in a progression standpoint. HP burns the meta, we all know it, but what if I can Mark of Death the spider, use a cold heart, use 2 cold hearts, and then have the spider explode, killing all of the spiderlings, or have that Mark of Death explode. That would be really cool game design, in my personal opinion. I think it would be easy to do, easy to implement, cap it out. That's why I said add a shield icon, so people aren't using someone like a Septimus and doing, I mean, I guess cold heart's the same, but so you're not doing 5 million damage or something and then having it explode with a multiplier. That would be absurd, and it's the same bug that Trunda has with her A2. So I think this would be really cool for a new champion, a new debuff to add to the game. Have it come out in a login reward, give players something to look forward to. So that's kind of the TLDR of what I wanted to talk about today. They really have to do it right, because I'm not going to judge Cleopteryx too much yet. I did just 6-star her, I believe. I'm struggling on the potions. I'm on the struggle bus there, so I have to farm that up. Then I'm going to test her in the Hydra for you guys like I promised. We'll make a video on that. I mean, it is the holidays, but... So I can't judge her kit, haven't tested her, don't know anything about her. But I am going to see how viable she is in, I mean, probably just the Hydra. She can, I mean, most champions can be good in any progression setting just because it's a legendary, has pretty good base stats. Let's see, low health, really good attack, above average speed, and respectable defense. It's not something low like 700, 800 defense, so good base stats, cannot complain there. Although she's not ascended, so I'm probably missing out there. So just ignore everything I just said about the base stats. They can only get better. That's the good news. So with that being said, this is where we're at. I think they have a lot to make up for. Scion, underwhelming. Cleopteryx, perceived to be underwhelming. I can't comment like I just said, but they really have to do something special for this next legendary before it becomes even more of a joke than it already is. Login rewards, I get it. They're free. They don't want it to be too crazy, but you have to draw a line. If you're going to take away a sacred and a chicken, the rewards have to be worth it, right? I understand they don't want to give free shards out despite this shiny void shard sitting here saying murder pull me. It is what it is, right? So that's my video. Give me your thoughts, give me your feedback. I think this is a pretty important video for sure. It's going to raise a few questions as they do start revealing things. We have had great new champions come to light like Mithrala, who is from the Hydra. I can't wait to see what's next as far as that goes. So give me your thoughts, give me your feedback, leave a comment, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you all in my next upload.